Hello everyone, welcome back to Array Blog. So in the last video we learned about basic of JavaScript function, how to declare them, how to pass them, and so in this video we are going to learn about the REST operator and anonymous function, spread operator, and callback function, and the concept of high order function. All super useful in a full-time JavaScript development and so let's get started. So I've created a file, let's say this.js. So let's begin. So the REST operator is basically represented by three dots, right? So the REST operator basically represented by three dots, and the REST operator let us basically lets you pass a variable number of argument to a function and group them into an array, right? So group them into an array means, so suppose you have passed some variable like a number of arguments like 10, 20, 30 or 40, and then what it does, it will group them into an array. So let's see example. So let's say function sum. We are going to use the rest operator. So we'll say numbers, right? Sum and then numbers, and we will return here. So we'll say numbers dot reduce, and this is basically reduce is a function that basically run one by one. So that we'll see when we will run about the array. So total and num, and this is going to be total plus num and then 0, right? And then we are going to say console log, and we are going to say sum, that is 10, 20 and then 30, right? So this is what the rest operator does. So here the dot and numbers collect all the arguments into single array called numbers, and this is super helpful when you don't know how many value you will receive, right? So let's run it and see what we get it here. So it's a rest, so we got 60, right? That's how the rest operator works. Now the next thing we are going to learn about the separate operator. Separate operators, right? So separate operator is which also uses three dots, right? But instead of collecting it, it's separate. It separate means it expand all the element of an array or object, right? So let's see. So let's see the example. So we'll say const and we'll say numbers, right? We are going to say 1, 2 and then 3, right? And we'll declare constant new numbers equals to, will be we can say dot and then numbers comma 4, 5, let's say 6, right? And we'll print the new number. So show dot log and then new numbers, right? So what it will does, new numbers is basically we are going to we are in some sense we are merging this, right? So if we can put it in a simple way, we are merging the numbers into the new numbers, right, using the separate operators. So it will print 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. So run it, we'll got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you can also use this for the merging an array, right? Suppose so merging in arrays means, suppose you have a two array, and one array is the value of 50 elements and the second one is 100 elements, right? And you want to combine them. So what you have to do, you use the, so if you go traditional way, so that will be very difficult to combine it. But when you use separate operator, you just have to pass the array name with the help of the dot, that is basically separate operators, right? That's how you combine two array, right? You can also combine the object, you can also combine the object, right? So remember one thing, rest is for collect value into one, separate, expand them out, right? So yeah, that's it. So next thing we are going to learn, that is anonymous function. Anonymous function, right? Function. So anonymous function is usually is simply a function without a name. You usually use them and you don't need to call the function anywhere else, right? For example, set set timeout, and this function we are going to call, that is function. Yeah, we'll say console dot log runs after 2 minutes, right? And we'll close this and we'll pass 1000 seconds, right? So this program will run after 2 minutes. So let's run it and see what we get. Yeah, got this program after 2 minutes. That's how anonymous function are often used as an argument to other function, which bring us to the next topic, that is callback function. So what we're going to do, we are going to use the callback function. Callback function, right? And so the callback function is a function that passed as an argument to another function and executed later, right? So so the callback function is basically it passed as an argument to another function and executed later, right? I mean, it means, so JavaScript handle asynchronous test like waiting for data, animation, or API calls, right? So let's see an example, right? So let me create a function. Let's say function. Let's say process, or we can say ABC users, right? And we're going to say callback, and then we'll say console dot log. Going to use the literals. We'll say hello. Then that is a user, right? And now we are going to call use this, right? So I mean, so we have created this. Let's say, I mean, no, this not this way. So yeah. So what we'll do, we'll say constant name equals to array block, right? And then callback is basically we are passed name, right? And we'll create this another. We'll basically call the function. Let's say abc user, and we're going to say function, and in the function we'll pass the user, and then we are going to say console log. Uh, we'll say hello, that is user, right? So let's run it and see what we get. So here basically callback is just a placeholder for a function. So the callback is basically placeholder for a function that get executed later. So callback help make a code modular, but too many callback can lead to a basically it called a callback hell, which we solve with the help of promises and async event bit in a modern JS that I will explain later, right? So let's run it and see. Say hello array block, and it's a run after 2 minutes, right? So this program run after 2 minutes. That's why it printed this first, and then it come back to this, right? So yeah, next thing we are going to see the high order function. High order function, right? So now let's understand high order function. So one of the most powerful idea in JavaScript. high order function is a function that either take another function as an argument or return a function, right? So what it does basically, it takes another function as an argument or it return a function. So let's see examples. We'll say a function and we can say calculate, going to pass a, b, and then operation we can say, right? And then this, so we'll say return, and then operation, and we are going to say and, right? Missing a comma here, yeah. So, and then next thing what we're going to do, we're going to say function add x comma y, and this is, yeah, and we'll return x plus y, right? And what are we going to do? We're going to say console, we're going to print all this, and we'll say calculate, say 5 comma 10, and then we can say add, right? So let's run it and see what we get here. So we got 15, right? 5 plus 10 is 15, and this is basically, this is the foundation of JavaScript functional programming, and we will see it in a method like map, filter, and reduce, right? So high order function is basically one of the, I mean, it it takes another function as an argument and return a function, right? So yeah, that's it for the today. So let's quickly recap everything what we learned today. So first we learn REST operator that collect multiple arguments, right? Using the yeah, using the three dots. Separate operator, it also uses the three dot, but it expand the array or object, and it is very helpful when you have to combine two array with the multiple datas, with the two object with the multiple data, yeah. And anonymous function without name, right? That we have used the set time, this one, the set time, right? This is anonymous function. Callback function, basically function passed as a argument, right? So we passes here the callback and then name, and then we are using this, right? High order function basically take and return another function, right? That's it. So now we have labeled up our understanding of JavaScript function with the REST, separate, and callback and high order function. In the next video, what we're going to do, we are going to dive into JavaScript object and this keyword, right? So and another key part of how JavaScript behave behind the scene. So if you learned something today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for the watching, and I will see you into the next one. Thank you.